Stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yes! Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, back on the Dawg Knight Channel on this Friday, the 11th of November, 2025. How are y'all doing? Happy Friday. Hope you're all having a lovely, lovely morning, except for Mike Savage, because, you know, it's afternoon where he lives. And I am here. This morning I was listening, oh, by the way, I was listening to one of these debate bros on TikTok this morning. You know, the guys who have their show and they have people call in and then they debate them and they make them look like idiots. And I was thinking how much I don't like that, and I'm gonna include even some of Charlie Kirk's stuff when he goes on campuses, because, you know, although at least on campuses he's talking to students who may have at least some knowledge of stuff, but they don't either, and it's not a fair fight when you do that, because usually people who do that are very well versed in a lot of things, have a lot of facts in their heads, can pull up stuff right in front of them. A lot of them have their computer open on in front of them, pretending like they don't. And they have all these things they can talk about and stuff. And then they ask the people who they're talking to pull up facts off the top of their head. This one particular guy that I was listening to this morning was demanding, like he would have, someone would say something, he would demand evidence for it. But if he heard keyboards ticking while he was talking, get off your computer. No, I'm not going to let you be on your computer. It's like, you want it's not real. It's whatever. But why did I bring that up? I don't know. I had an example, but he just signed off on his computer complaining that there were people trying to dox him and all this stuff. And why, if he wasn't effective, why is Lib's TikTok going after him? I don't even know who the fuck the dude was. I never heard of him. I'm just rambling. Anyway, good morning. How y'all doing? Let's talk about who's here and get this show going, because that's what we do. We talk about stuff, and I'd like to talk about stuff instead of talk about that asshole. Although I don't have a lot of stuff on my list today. I'm kind of free. I almost said freeballing it. I'm kind of freewheeling it today, and so we'll see how it goes. And Q&A is probably going to save my life. First in the chat today is Somnambul Nation. Yeah, nicely done. We get here bright and early. Also, good morning, Avocados Diabli. Mike Savage, Blarg, Ms. Wild Wolf, Midnight's in the house. Our young friend is here. Good morning. Also, Pope Tire the Third, the Blessed Lich, with today's message of hope from not the Father, not the Son, but from the Holy Ghost. Pope Tire says, blessing of the divine dead. Death. I can't read. Let me start that one over. Blessings of the divine dead. Defeat and victory are two sides of a coin. There are Pyrrhic victories, where defeat is only a matter of perspective. Learning from defeat will ensure total victory later. Oh my gosh, what a great message. Thank you, Pope Tire. Also, good morning. Who else is here? Green Badger Outdoors. Renee Mayette is here. Gunfox61, our amazing administrator of the PDawgKnight Discord server. Also, hello to Attack Alpaca. Kara Soldiers in the house. Cashapp, how you doing, Kirsten? And that's a bit about so far. Yes, reading is fundamental. Thank you, Soundable Nation, for that very uplifting and whatever they call it, message. Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, also thanks to the people sharing the show. Lots of you already. Oh, wait, that's yesterday's show. Let's try today's show. Oh, thanks for yesterday's, Renee Mayette. Oh no, this is today's show. Why, my goodness. You guys are on top of it. There's a bunch of you-alls in here. First, thank you, Somnambul Nation, always posting the show, usually before I do, or often very close to when I do, and gave us a little, are you sure you want questions today? Okay, let's go, with a little rerun up there. Everyone raccoon? All right, so, be honest, You saw that picture. Did you immediately say, oh, that's rerun? Anyway, also Mike Savage, Blarg, with the Let Us Go. Ms. Wild Wolf tweeting out the show. Greatly appreciated. Green Badger Outdoors replying to my tweet of the tweet, which you can do at the top of the chat right there. Click that button and say, let's go, and put a GIF or GIF or meme or something funny or something stupid or something, whatever. Put something there and retweet that or reply to my tweet. Got it? Thank you, Green Badger Outdoors. Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Oh, good God. That's a great plan. Our daily woo, Ric Flair from Ty Alexander. Thank you. And Ms. Wildwood reposting a bunch of my tweets. I appreciate it. And Renee Mayette with Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And who remembers that song? And with Dan Belushi, that is Dan Belushi, Dan Aykroyd. I got him mixed up because of the Blues Brothers and shit. If you remember that song, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. That was a great song. The back in the disco era, back when, Tyre, you can remind us when the dinosaurs were dancing under disco balls. Hi, Maddie. What's up? Nice to see you. I miss you, my friend. Oh, my gosh. I'm so glad to see you in the chat. How are you, dear? I'm really glad to see you. Okay, and then thank you, Renee Mayette, for doing that thing. And who else is up here? A bunch of you. Cashapp, Kirsten, of course, Tyre Alexander, Green Badger Outdoors, Banks. What up, Banks? Are you here yet? And Ms. Wild Wolf and Somnambule Nation, a.k.a. Lincoln D. Scription. Oh, the movie was crap. A lot of those movies based on disco stuff were really bad. Like Car Wash. Holy shit, there was some funny stuff in it, but it was a dumbass movie. I'm just saying. But the song was killing. Oh man, I'm trying to think how that goes. You might not ever get rich, but that's better than digging a ditch. You don't know who you might meet. I don't know the words, but I'm gonna sing it in the street at the car wash. Whoa, 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 talking about the car washer. Come on and sing it with me. That was a great song. There you go. Yeah, Rolls Royce. Fantastic. So anyway, all right, let's get into some stuff that matters. Although I don't have anything. I don't have any stuff. I have like 2 articles, but thankfully, our dear friend Gunfox61 has dropped a Hamilton in the tip jar. You are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Gunfox61, dropping Hamilton in the tip jar and an article that I can read. If I can read. Water Wars coming soon. Yeah, this is interesting. I've always thought there might be an issue with this. Although, see, here's the beauty of where I live. I live in Minnesota. We have water everywhere. And we have the Mississippi River starts here. I mean, we are like we got a lot of water. And I don't know, someday that might be a good thing. Minnesota is like a good place to live, not so much for the politics because our governor sucks, but as far as the quality of life, there's a lot of green space, there's a lot of farms, there's a lot of fertile land, there's a lot of water, there's all kinds of stuff here that makes it good. And we're in the middle of the country, kind of away from the places where they want to, drop bombs and shit. Although some people might do. We've always been worried about an attack on the Mall of America just because it would be symbolic, but. And the fact that I live close enough that the fallout, well, it might actually it might affect me like physically, but anyway, but yeah, if global warming, if the Earth gets warmer, we're in a great spot because it's already kind of cool here. I don't know. It's just ain't no one gonna attack an outlet mall. What are you talking about? An outlet mall? Not the outlet mall. The outlet mall's on the other side of the river from the Mall of America. But anyway, we get 40 million visitors a year still at the Mall of America. That's like the first year it opened, I think it got like 60 million visitors. but it still gets 40 million visitors a year. It gets more visitors than Disneyland. Disney World, I think, is the only, like, one of the three, like, there's 3 places that more visitors, attractions, and it blows my mind that people still go there. It's to me, it's just the closest mall to my house. It's a huge monstrosity of a mall, right? By the way, did you know that the first indoor enclosed mall in the United States of America was built right here in Minnesota? Southdale? Is it Southdale? I think it's Southdale. I can't remember the name of the mall. I think it's Southdale, over in Edina, in Cake Eater Land. Anyway, but it's this massive mall, and you know, if you've never been there, you get in there and you're like, holy shit, where is everything? For me, it's just the closest mall. So if I ever go there, which is pretty rare, I usually know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly where to park, and I just go in and get out and be done. A lot of people go out there and gawk. So anyway, all right, didn't the elders ban that newfangled things your generation invented called music from your cave? Bitch, please. I'm sorry, I didn't. Tyre, come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, here's another Friday free-for-all. Wait, I've never seen that GIF before. Here, this is Ms. Wildwood dropped this one up in the Twitter sphere. I'm still calling it Twitter. I don't care. It's X, but you're still tweeting because that's what it was called. So anyway, Gunfox has an article here that I'm going to get to right now, talking about water. Iran's president warns Tehran may have to be evacuated amid a worsening water crisis. Isn't Iran kind of deserty and shit? He says if it doesn't rain, we will have to start restricting water supplies in Tehran next month, says Masoud Pezeshkian. I didn't know that was the president's name. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has warned that the capital, Tehran, could face severe water shortages and it may even have to be evacuated if rainfall does not occur soon. Oh, God, are they going to start manipulating the weather over in Tehran? We'll see. But you know what happened? Like when they did that in Dubai, and then like all the streets flooded like for days because there's nowhere for water to run off. Or was that in Saudi Arabia? I don't remember. Who remembers where that was? Anyway, speaking during a visit to Sananjaj in western Iran on Thursday, Pezeshkian said the government was confronting a combination of economic, environmental, and social crises. Okay, just an aside here. Isn't Iran kind of a natural social crisis? If you know what I'm saying? Just saying. Remember they used to be all modern and shit, and then the Shah fell, and holy shit, it went to shit. There you are, Banks. I knew you were here. And also JB's in the house. What's up? Nice to see you. And Reaccion Puerto Rico is in the house. All right. Anyway, he said that high prices and inflation were the result of both domestic policy failures and international sanctions. The Daily Itimad reported high prices and inflation are the fault of both the parliament and the government. There are efforts underway, but limited financial resources mean projects remain unfinished. Turning to the drought-induced water crisis, Pezeshkian warned that Iran faces serious natural challenges, including dwindling rainfall and water resources. Quote, if it does not rain, we will have to start restricting water supplies in Tehran next month. If the drought continues, we will run out of water and be forced to evacuate the city. He said it just like that. I mean, that's exactly what he sounded like, too. The president stressed the urgent need for better management and conservation of water and energy resources, describing the situation in Tehran as alarming. Hello, Evan S. Now, Tehran's water supply depends on 5 main dams. Damn! Lar, Mamlu, Amir Kabir, Talakwan, and Latian, with Amir Kabir being the largest. However, Iran has suffered a sharp decline in rainfall over the past 5 years, and meteorological data show that precipitation in Tehran this year is about 40% below seasonal averages. The lack of rainfall, particularly in spring and summer, has caused reservoir levels to drop drastically, affecting both surface and groundwater reserves. Tehran Water Authority warned on July 20th that the reservoirs supplying the capital had reached their lowest level in a century due to prolonged drought. Intermittent water cuts have been implemented during the summer months. On November 3rd, Behzad Parza, head of the Tehran Water Authority, said Damme reserves could supply the city for only 2 more weeks if dry conditions persist. Oh, that sucks. Hi, TC. What's up? And Blue-Eyed Scream. Nice to have you both here. Pezeshkian has previously cautioned on July 23rd that if the crisis continues at its current pace without effective measures, providing water to the public would soon become impossible. So, sucks to be in Iran, especially Tehran of Iran. So, all right, now I'm just gonna do some. Here's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to just scroll through X a little bit and show you how. What's the word? How would I describe this? How fucking stupid some people think we are. Yes. And it's all based on their hate of a person. Okay? It's all they're stupid, they think we're stupid, and based on their hate of someone they hate, their hate of someone we hate, that was redundant. They think we're stupid. They're going to try to pull some bullshit over us. So one of the biggest examples that popped up yesterday was all of the people on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, who were posting this picture of Donald Trump. Now, during a press conference, I think it was about Ozempic or some shit like that, some weight loss drug and shit, someone collapsed in his office. Okay? The guy fainted or whatever. And so this photo was going around, and pretty much the same sentiment for everyone who posted it. A real photo of Trump after someone collapsed with a medical emergency next to him. What the actual fuck? You know, saying he has no empathy or whatever. Didn't even bother to look at the guy. He just stood up and didn't and looked annoyed. Yeah, that's not what happened. In fact, the very next poster, and this is the guy, Aaron Rupar is the one who started with this bullshit, and he's that jagoff fucking former journalist, whatever, propagandist bitch, motherfucking asshole, dickhead, cocksucker, motherfucker. I am on a tear today. God damn. Anyway, this dickhead, also posted the video. Now, if you watch the video, what happened, which you'll see that Donald Trump did, in fact, stand up and was worried about the guy, and then saw that he was being taken care of, and it all went fine. So here's what the scene actually was.
And creating high-value jobs. But today we... Oh, are you okay? Gordon, you okay?
Now, first person to him is Dr. Oz. A doctor. Okay, everyone else... And they're not the only one helping him. But anyway, I'm gonna let you watch the rest of it, because watch what Donald Trump does when this happens. He immediately stands up and makes sure they're taking care of him, right? And now they're shooing the press out, and Donald Trump is showing concern, and then he turns and he's looking at the press, whatever, right? And they take that picture later. They also said RFK Jr. ran away when he was actually going to get help. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's literally their hate driving interpretations, but also they're willing to completely lie about the man. And look, I'm not a promoter of Donald Trump. I tell you every time, I think he's a jackass, but I think he's the jackass that we need right now. I'm not, if Donald Trump says something really, really bad, I say so. But this is just bullshit and TDS to the fullest. And tons of people were posting that same fucking picture. Same with this right here. So here they have a picture of Donald Trump with his eyes closed. Okay. Now, saying that he's napping during the press briefing or whatever. Now, my guess is somebody caught a picture of Donald Trump when he blinked. Okay. And he was listening, but he blinked. And so they got a picture and they said, oh, he's sleeping. That's not what was happening. They're in the video of this press conference. He's listening to the whole time, so he's not sleeping. He's not dozing off. He's not napping. But they're willing to just pull that bullshit. It drives me insane. Look, you can have your legitimate criticisms. You can have policy differences. You can think he's an asshole, whatever. But don't lie when you're the ones who say he's always lying, when you constantly lie about him. It's kind of funny. And again, I've never considered myself a MAGA person. I just think I disagree with the whole tariff thing. I've always have. But here's the thing. I don't believe in corporate taxes either. Because who pays for either one of those? The person buying shit from them. The people pay the taxes. The corporations don't pay the taxes. The companies don't pay the tariffs. We ended up paying them. So if you're arguing that the corporations are not paying their fair share, we should tax the corporations more. Who pays for those taxes? The people who buy shit from the corporations. It's funny how they can see that with tariffs, but they can't see that with corporate taxes. They want to raise corporate taxes because the corporations are not paying their fair share. We pay them. We pay them no matter what. So do one of the two things. Get rid of income tax, have a consumption tax. Then you can say, okay, fine. People who buy more shit will pay more taxes. Or do the income tax, however, or do tariffs, and then we'll have taxes on things that other people make from other places, but not on other places we make, and it'll encourage people to make more shit here. There's always reasons there's different ways to do it, but my God, stop saying stupid shit and stop lying about the guy in the chair there. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. It's just amazing. Trump falls asleep once again. Really? Did he during this conference? Or does he look down at things? It's maddening. It is maddening how they lie about the man. So, and guess what? All these Democrats and people who hate him are willing to believe it because out of pure hate, not because they think logically or they want to get the full information. All right. Now, the other thing they keep lying about that's driving me nuts. And then we're going to go to Friday Q&A. We're going to do that early. So I hope y'all are filling up with questions. Good morning, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. What's up? They're still lying about this whole government shutdown. And that debate bro that I was listening to this morning, the reason I was listening to him, because I wanted to hear how he debates the government shutdown, claiming that it's Republicans who are using child hunger as leverage. Why would the Republicans do that? The Republicans passed a bill to open the government. The Democrats are voting against a bill to open the government. Now, and the other lie that they keep telling, they're saying it's because of health care. But health care is not the only thing that they're willing to shut the government down for. The health care is at $1.5 trillion in spending. There's a whole bunch of shit in there that the reason they're saying they're going to hold the line on this, but they use healthcare because that pulls the most heartstrings. So let's talk about healthcare. Let's listen to this dickhead, Chris Murphy, who's senator from Connecticut, I think. Yeah, U.S. senator from Connecticut. Talking to this woman about healthcare. He says as people go onto healthcare enrollment websites and see that Trump has doubled their premiums, the pressure on Republicans to fix this will mount. This isn't getting easier for Republicans. It's getting harder. Let's just stop with that statement right there. Trump hasn't doubled anyone's premiums. Trump didn't have anything to do with this healthcare plan. Trump didn't have anything to do with the subsidies. Trump didn't do anything. Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, is working exactly as the Democrats wrote it. They wrote the law. They got not a single Republican voted for the American Affordable Care Act. Not a single Republican voted for what the fuck was that called? The American Recovery Act or whatever. All the bills that made the subsidies didn't vote for the subsidies. And Republicans did not vote for the subsidies to end. Democrats wrote them. Democrats wrote when the subsidies would end, which would be the end of November of this year, which is the end of this month. And they were temporary subsidies. The Republicans didn't do anything. They didn't double their premium. And if they doubled the premium, it's because the subsidies have the normal premium that they're supposed to be paying, that they were paying before the subsidies. So here's Chris Murphy lying his ass off. He's lying his ass off.
We're in the longest shutdown. People are feeling real pain. The deal that's on the table is basically
of Democrats. Is this a trans woman? He's got a deep ass voice. Not that I care, but anyway. Hi, Evan S. Did I say Evan S? Selected boys in the house too. Yeah, boy. Okay, here we go. Listen.
The deal that Senator John Thune proposed originally. Correct. It hasn't changed in 37 days. Is there something more the Democrats can get here?
So listen, I want the shutdown to end. But
no, you don't. You're using it as leverage, and you're using people losing their SNAP benefits as leverage. It's not the Republicans who's doing that. Y'all are lying.
The one story that matters is the fact that Republicans have refused to negotiate. The reason that we did not have a shutdown for 4 years when Joe Biden was president and Democrats were in charge of the Senate is because we negotiated not just on long-term spending. But
Liar. The continuing resolutions, in fact, are written the same way. You didn't negotiate anything, you lying piece of shit.
Bills, but on short-term spending bills as well.
Not on the continuing resolution. Oh my God, it's amazing. They always say Donald Trump's lies all the time. Pot kettle, cat feline, whatever analogy you want to make, pies, tort.
They have known from the beginning that they need Democratic votes, and their refusal to negotiate is why we are in a shutdown.
No, not on the continuing resolution, dickhead. No, not on the continuing resolution, dickhead. The continuing resolution would have funded government exactly as it was, still under a Biden budget, while you were negotiating. You are lying. The budget's debated outside of the funding the government. And many Democrats have said that that's inappropriate to use the continuing resolution to try to force other things. It's a clean continuing resolution. Just funds the government as it was on the current Biden budget, which still goes through the end of the year.
Period. Stop. Yes, I believe that the public on Tuesday told us to keep fighting.
The public didn't tell you anything. The public didn't. They're elected in 4 states, in all Democrat states, all Democrat strongholds. So you won 4 Democratic states, and you won the mayor of New York from another Democrat. California's supermajority Democrats. New Jersey, supermajority Democrats. Not a fucking Republican representing New Jersey anywhere except for maybe one Congress seat. Virginia went by 6% for Kamala Harris. No shocker there. Glenn Youngkin won on a fluke because you had a governor who was fucked up so bad in Virginia, but they went back to being Democrats. Atlanta mayor or Pennsylvania incumbent Supreme Court justices. How often do incumbent judges lose elections? It's almost impossible once a judge is elected. If they're the incumbent, in fact, I'm wondering if there are even any other candidates on the ballot for the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. So don't tell me that you learned anything.
And there's logic.
So, by the way, that's his excuse for doubling down and keeping the government closed. Because they think they have the leverage. They're using it. He's saying it to your face. Well, we have leverage because we won these elections. Don't care. This is not how the government works.
Here, because most people, even though open enrollment has started, haven't even checked what their new premium is.
It's going to go back to what it was before you gave them the temporary subsidies.
Doing that for the first time, perhaps this weekend. The pressure is going to mount on Republicans to forestall these premium increases.
Do you hear that? Do you hear what he's saying? So you're letting people not have their SNAP benefits because you think the pressure will mount on Republicans on these increases. Well, wouldn't the increases also mount pressure on them if the government were open? Think anyone would call their congressman and the government open if they got these increases? What are you talking about? So you're using closing the government as leverage. Just admit it, you fucking assholes. Listen to him. He's telling you how they're using it as leverage and blaming it on the Republicans for using it as leverage. It's amazing.
Day by day, as more and more Americans realize that they are about to go bankrupt or forced to cancel their insurance. So it seems like the
Affordable Care Act. That's why is the Affordable Care Act so expensive? Have you tried to figure that out, Chris? Dickhead.
Very strange time to give up the fight at the exact moment that the president is declaring to the world that he wants to sue for peace, and people are getting these premium increase notices and are just beginning to call members of the Senate on the Republican side to tell them to do something about it.
So we have better leverage because we can take away.
We're in the longest shutdown
because of SNAP benefits. It's unbelievable. The chutzpah. All right, real quick. Thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico. I asked you this yesterday. I'm glad you're doing well, Marty. Hi, Marty. I'm doing better. Dropping a 5 spot in the tip jar. Thank you. My dear friend Carlos says, hi, Marty. I'm doing better. Thanks for asking. One day plus go down a rabbit hole of how the Associated Press started and why outlets parrot them. Oh, you might have to give me some guidance on that. I'm curious. Just hearing this question, I'd love some guidance on that. So if you have anything, you can DM me or something. Appreciate it, man. All right, good. And I'm glad you're well. What? I still don't know what happened. I saw the picture. You sent me the picture of the vehicle that was pretty banged up. So I'm hoping that you're not just as banged up. I hope you're better. All right, TC's in the house. Hi, TC. What's happening? Anyone remember the chutzpah segments from Mad Magazine? No, I don't. I don't. All right, let's see. Let me scroll down because there's another. Oh, and my own Senator Amy Klobuchar. Apparently, by the way, apparently the Justice Department said it would file an appeal after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration on Thursday to pay full food stamps this month. Now, I have been having a little argument with some people about this online. Maybe I can see the whole article here. Oh, maybe. Here's the New York Times article that this guy references. Judge orders Trump administration to fully fund food stamps this month. Now, there's a little problem with this. And I think this may be why the Trump administration is appealing. Listen to this. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration on Thursday to fund food stamps in full for roughly 42 million low-income Americans after admonishing the government for delaying aid under the nation's largest anti-hunger program during the shutdown. But the Justice Department almost immediately told the court it would appeal the ruling. The move renewed fears that the poorest Americans would not receive their full benefits to purchase groceries this month, leaving many at risk. of imminent and severe hardship. I'm going to read a little more because there's something that's very important here. The order issued by Judge John J. McConnell Jr. of the U.S. District Court for the District of Rhode Island marked his second legal rebuke of the administration. Reading from the bench after a short but tense hearing, he sharply criticized federal officials for ignoring his original order last week to quickly restart payments for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. Judge McConnell attributed the inappropriate delay in part to an attempt by President Trump and his aides to disrupt the program for political reasons. He also pointed to public comments by Mr. Trump, who said at one point that he would halt all food stamp payments until Democrats struck a deal to end the shutdown now in its 6th week. This should never happen in America, blah, 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 blah. Now, and then his order is issued soon after in writing gave the government until Friday to make stamp payments to the states, which manage the provision of food stamps. For now, the directive appeared to set to take effect as scheduled, though the Justice Department has not indicated if it will seek to pause it as the agency prepares to appeal the matter. Now, here's the problem. And it's the wording that I read in here, and I guess I would almost need to read the order. In fact, I'll put the original order, a link to that. That needs to be archived. Hang on a second. Let me, hopefully that'll be under archives. Oh, let's see. One more step. I am not a robot. No, I am not. Oh, show me the bicycles. Well, there's a bicycle. There's a bicycle. There's a bicycle. Any more bicycles? I can't see any more bicycles. Bullshit. Ah, good. Okay. So here's the other one. So here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that, because the wording here is very important. Must to fund food stamps in full for roughly 42 million Americans. It's a big problem here. One, I'm assuming that judge means from the SNAP program contingency funds, which has about roughly $5 billion in it. Between $5 and $5.5 billion in it, right? Hello, Nightlife Gaming. Nice to have you at the show. So the total fund that the contingency fund has is just over $5 billion. The food stamp program, the SNAP program, monthly outgoing cost is between $8 and $9 billion, which means the contingency fund only has roughly 65% of what it would normally be paying for the month of November. So in order to fully fund SNAP for the month of November, the government would have to spend more money than the program even has. A federal judge cannot appropriate money from the federal government. It makes no sense. Nightlife Gaming, Skella 08 is midnight. Just FYI. So the judge basically says, okay, I'm ordering the Trump administration to break the law. Now, the other part of that is, the emergency fund, the contingency fund for SNAP was meant for disasters. Okay, it was meant for disasters, like natural disasters. Like if, for example, in West Virginia, all those houses got washed away and all that, the flooding and whatnot. And so they have disaster funds to give those people SNAP benefits during the disaster while they're cleaning up, right? Or, a hurricane in Florida or Texas or Louisiana or whatever. Okay, disasters, giant wildfires in California. SNAP funds are people who've lost everything, whatever. Disasters. I don't think they originally intended for government shutdown disasters caused by Democrats. Democrats caused this disaster. It's a political disaster. But even if it were, there is no legal way to fully fund SNAP for the month of November. And because everyone lost their fucking minds when that original order came out and said, Trump said, we'll fund about 65% of it. Why did he say 65%? Interesting that they used that number. Well, the reason it was 65%, because 65% of funding would completely deplete the contingency fund in 1 month. Because that's all they have. They only have 65% of 1 full month. They cannot fully fund SNAP for the month. It's not like they send out money on a daily basis. They give everyone one lump sum at the beginning of the month between the 1st and the 10th, and that's fully funding SNAP. You fund a full month at a time. Because I even had an argument with Grok, which I won, because I said, hey Grok, how can they fully fund SNAP? Well, they could do it, blah blah blah. And I said, well, wait a minute. If there's only 65% of a full month, then you can't fully fund SNAP. Well, yes, you can, because it's on a daily basis. But no, but it's never paid on a daily basis. It's paid at the beginning of the month for a full month. And finally, I outsmarted Grok or the fucking thing, because you can't do it. Hello, Andrew Thorsten. What's up? Another question is, why is so much money every month? Well, partly because during the Biden administration, during the what was the inflation cover, whatever, the American Rescue Plan or whatever, they greatly broadened the criteria for being on SNAP. So it went from 19 million people on SNAP to 42 million people on SNAP during the Biden administration. Now, and will tell you the lie, none of this is for illegal aliens, right? Because they say, oh, illegal aliens are not eligible for SNAP, right? Well, you may also know that the Biden administration, when they were processing a lot of these people who are illegal aliens they brought into the country, somehow they set up some program where they could give a bunch of them Social Security numbers. So the idea that none of those people with Social Security numbers, and many states gave them legal driver's license. Now, if you're saying that none of those people are on SNAP, I guarantee you're lying. But, they're illegal aliens are not eligible for SNAP, and illegal aliens are not eligible for Medicaid. Illegal aliens are not eligible for Medicare. You did your little workarounds. Or in some states, the funds are reimbursed to the states through their own programs, and they do whatever the fuck they want. So we know for a fact that California was using Medicaid and SNAP benefits for illegal aliens under CalCare and whatever that other program they have, and then they got reimbursed by the federal government. And when the Republicans passed a law that you could not use Medicaid for illegal aliens, they had to slow down that program. But they still got their little workaround. So they're all full of shit. And it's amazing as I read this. And so my senator, of course, jumps all over this. The administration is now appealing the court decision required to provide full food assistance to Americans. They cannot do it. Every dollar allocated for that will be gone before the month is over. 65%. They have no money to fund it fully, even if you're using the contingency fund. So, but Democrats know they're lying. This is all demagoguery. Amy Klobuchar is everywhere right now. Yapping. And she's lying constantly. And Chris, what the fuck was his name again? Chris Murphy's lying. And I scroll down X. Oh, here's another one. Oh, there's another picture. That picture. Aaron Rupar. They're claiming he was sleeping. Oh my God. Here, this Senate Democrats. Trump can end the shutdown right now and work with Democrats to fix the Republican healthcare crisis. The Republicans have nothing to do with the healthcare crisis. Yet it's working exactly as you Democrats wrote it. Dumb fucks. Anyway. That's all I'm gonna do today. You know why? Wait. Oh, by the way, speaking of Chris Murphy, Democrats vow to continue shutdown for sake of the party's brand. Democratic Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy said Thursday his party's brand could undergo substantial damage if Democrats were to cave and reopen the federal government following their overwhelming election victories Tuesday night. They're referencing the same interview that he did. How many of them have said they're using it as leverage? Also, here's an article in Issues and Insights. SNAP program rules take a bite out of the taxpayers. More than 40 million Americans on Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program rely on taxpayer dollars to buy groceries, and the Trump administration has announced only half of those food stamp benefits will be paid out. Well, not half. They'll pay out the entire contingency fund, which is about 65%. That's all they have. That's all they legally have. A judge cannot appropriate money from the federal government. Anyway, there's a whole lot of interest in that. By the way, did you know that this year's Thanksgiving meals are going to cost less than they did last year? This is hilarious. Now let's not say that grocery prices are coming down, right? Because they're not. I mean, it's been about an average just under 3% inflation, which is kind of normal. Between 2 and 3% is kind of normal. When you're in the 9%, like we were in the second year of the Biden administration, that's when you're fucked. And those prices have not come down because even though it's faces less, it's still slightly going up, but it's not going up like this. It's back to going up like this. But apparently, because of the cost of turkeys are going to be down this year quite a bit, I guess, because there's an abundance of turkeys. There's hardly any beef. That's why beef prices are so high. Well, I shouldn't say hardly any. There are less cows now than there have been, and so the beef prices are high because of supply. They're not down by billions of cows, but whatever, you know what I mean? But apparently, the prices of turkey, stuffing, gravy mixes, fresh cranberries, and pumpkin pies are all seeing lower price tags across the board because retailers are amplifying the affordability rollout of some of their most competitive Thanksgiving bundles in years. So, great. It'll be less. I'm going to go buy a couple turkeys now. I want to get one of those. I've never done it before. Anyone ever bought one of those smoked turkeys from like Sam's Club or Costco? Because I smoked a turkey, was it 4 or 5 years ago? I kind of converted my grill into a smoker and smoked a turkey. It was really good. It was so good. But it's just a pain in the ass. I need to buy a smoker. Hello, Hidden Talents. What's up? Welcome. Special Can Acid on the honorable mention list of my favorite Canadians. Or should I just say among my other favorite Canadians? Yeah, apparently Thanksgiving costs are down this year. So that's good news, right? Is that good news? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It is time. It is time for the most important part of the week on this show. It is time for Friday Q and A. Yes, it's the best time of the week, Friday Q&A, where you can ask me anything. And I tell you what, if you're newer to this show, you know that they ask me just about anything. And sometimes it's a little embarrassing because I don't know how to answer some of this shit. But I do my best to answer the Friday Q&A questions because I am there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. Let's get to the questions now. I'll be there for you, and you're there for me too. With questions. First question of the day of Friday Q&A this week comes from, this is a shocker. This is amazing. Avocados Diablo has a question. This is great. Stop what? Are you talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Huh? You talking to me? Avocados Diablo asks, oh God. I just kind of started reading the beginning of the question and I'm just worried about the rest of it. Okay, here we go. You know how occasionally you get a woman who says something along the lines of, speak to me like that. Wait, speak to me like I am your mother. No. Have you ever heard a man say something similar? I realize I never once have. Yeah, no, I haven't. Speak to me like I'm your mother. I've never had a woman say, speak to me like your mother. Now have heard say, would you ever talk to your mom like that? Is that what you mean? That's similar to something like that, right? No, and I've never heard anyone say anything comparable about a father. Would you talk to your dad like that? Well, maybe. Oh, I don't know. That'd be kind of a weird question. I can't believe. I don't know if I can even say it. I mean, I can't say it. Somebody say in the chat, you know what I'm thinking of. When you're having sex with somebody? No. Stop it. Avocado Stably asks, next question. Let's move on. What is the most enjoyable fever dream you've ever had? Fever dream? I don't know. I still haven't, like, a fever dream is something stupid, right? Like when, like, you know, Democrats wishing they could have, you know, Stalin as their president. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had I don't know what a fever dream is. I mean, the worst dream I ever had is I had a dream. It was one time when we forgot to lock our back door, and I realized that the back door was unlocked and our garage door was open or whatever. We went to sleep, and I'm like, I had a dream that my wife and I came home from like one of our vacations, and our entire house was empty. Fever dream is when your brain is so hot you start hallucinating. LOL. Oh no, I don't know if I know. I don't even. Okay, that's what that is. You know what? Here's the thing. My guess is I had some weird dreams when I had my hip replaced and I was on whatever they put me on that had me all goofy and shit. But I don't remember those, so I guess not. Anyway, all right, moving on. Avocado Stably asks, what if Area 51 were just a cover for the galaxy's biggest intergalactic whorehouse that also had a killer buffet they didn't want you to know about? Well, I'd be pissed because I love me a good buffet. The whorehouse thing, I just don't think that would be all that great because I'm not into whores. Oh, stop it. No, I'm not into whores. Don't play that music. I am not into whores. No! What I said the first time. Avocado Stably asks, if you suddenly grew a working mouth on the palm of one of your hands, what is the first thing you would do with it? Well, the first thing after you did that. Did what? What is that? Don't put that in capital letters. No, I would not do that. I don't know. Go to the store and buy some fresh pears. Those are pretty good. Avocado Stably on a roll. If you manage to start the stream on time, do you think you will forget that the thumbnail of Adam Schiff finally? You bastard. Here.
Resist we much.
Good Lord. Thanks again. I forget it pretty much by the end of the weekend, and then you just bring it back every Friday. So that's okay. And I'm going to do a confession. I did start the stream about 10 minutes earlier than I actually started. Then I realized that I didn't have the stream on because I got to stop putting my countdown on volume. Because if I hear it, I have this habit of thinking that, oh, the countdown's over. I just start talking, but I do that sometimes so you don't have to wait so long when I open the stream, but I can't just like come on right away. Anyway, yeah, thanks there, AD. Another one from Avocado Stably. If you could travel back in time to see your younger self back when the dinosaurs were still alive, because you are old, and could give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be? Run faster from that Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know. Okay. But I know that the dinosaur part's being facetious. The advice I'd give myself is every time you have an extra $5, find a way to invest it. That would have been my advice to myself, back to my younger self, because I'd be a lot more wealthy now. Avocado Stabby asks, is there a world record for wearing the same pair of underwear nonstop without ever once, and I mean ever, taking them off, and how long do you think it is? I don't want to find out. I just don't want to know. I do not want to know. I'm going to guess it could be some homeless dude, probably going on a year or more, but I'm not going to check, and I don't want to find out. Somnable Nation asks, hey, a new person asking a question. Oh my God. I'm just playing AD. Somnable Nation asks, speaking of car wash, who are you rooting for? TC as the Fly, or Professor Corey as the Piss Bottle Bomber? I have no idea what you're talking about. TC as the Fly, or Professor Corey as the Piss. What is that? I have no idea what that is. Someone tell me in the regular chat. Anyone know what he's talking about? Well, do you know what you're talking about? I don't know what that is. Holy shit. Somebody's laughing, so you know what it means. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. So as soon as someone tells me in the chat, I will come back to it. Oh, time for a rewatch. Oh, shit. You're right. That's from Car Wash. Holy shit. I forgot about that. I do gotta watch that again. I mean, I don't even know if you can, where you find that movie. It's probably not on Netflix. It might be on Amazon, like whatever they call the Amazon streaming service. Prime Video. Yeah, it might be on that. Now I gotta watch it. It's so dated, it's hard to watch those old movies. Like back then it was funny as hell, and now you go like, people have done that joke about 1,000 times. Anyway, thank you. I don't know. All right. Lord Stand-Up asks, is it true that the one time you streamed just to yourself, you were really just so late that you were embarrassed to stream, so you just watched the chat and had an extra sandwich? No, I literally 45 minutes in, I realized that the stream wasn't even on. No, wait. I think I even closed the stream because Ms. Wildwolf asked me like 3 times during the stream, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I just kept going without even. I didn't type it, and I just said it, and I just kept going. And at the end of the stream, I go to shut it off, and I'm like, "Why is the stream turning on?" Shit! I yelled. It was terrible. That was a terrible day. It was a terrible fucking day. Lord Stand-Up asks, oh, that's the same one. Here's another. Lord Stand-Up asks, what did I miss? When did you get here? I don't know. Ask somebody in the chat. I don't know. Avocado Stabby asks, would you live in a house that was spackled with the mucus from 100 tuberculosis patients if you did not have to pay property taxes on it? Is the spackle dry? If the spackle's dry, who gives a fuck? It's only when it's moist that I'd be worried. So there you go. All right. Here we go. Lord Stanhope asks. Here, let me scroll this up so I don't have to scroll one of these. Okay, Lord Stanhope asks, is this the beginning of the end? The end of the beginning? Or somewhere in between? I would say we're still in the beginning, period. So my theory on God, as we read the Bible as an allegory, is that in the beginning, they say, creating the universe in a week. What is a week for God? considering God created the entire universe. For us, a week is 7 trips around our tiny little sun in our tiny little speck of the galaxy. But for God, a year for God would be an entire rotation of the entire universe. So for God, could it be that we're just still in the 8th day? We're still in the beginning. Okay, that's my answer. Avocados Diablo asks, it is him blinked and they took that frame. Oh, yeah, that was supposed to be in the regular chat. I got it. Avocados Diablo asks, did I just chat in the Q&A? Well, yes, you did. Very good. I figured it out immediately. Ms. Wildwolf asks, what did you think of the new GIF? Oh, the Friday Q. Did you make that Friday Q&A GIF? That was awesome. I love it. Aaron, let me show you what she's talking about if you didn't see it already. Ms. Wildwolf created a new GIF for Friday Q&A. Wait, there's a couple more. By the way, here's Ms. Wildwolf's new GIF for Friday's Q&A. Friday free for all Friday. Let's go. I love it. It's awesome. By the way, thanks also to Reaction Puerto Rico dropping a Wedding Crashers GIF on Let's Go, and also TC for tweeting out the show. Greatly appreciated. All right, and Mike Savage for disliking what I did. Next, Lord Stanhope asks, what's the best kind of pizza to wrap around someone's head when it comes fresh out of the oven? I would say extra cheese. Okay. Like you're trying to create a burn victim or something. Extra cheese or Chicago style deep dish, because the sauce is on the outside and then there's cheese, so you wrap that around, so you got all that hot sauce all over their face, and then the cheese like would insulate it, and then they'd get some like 3rd degree burns and shit. Not that I've ever thought of this or anything. Moving on. Ms. Wildwolf asks, if you were able to buy anything in the world, no dollar limit, what would it be and why? Anything? Anything. I would buy world peace. Anything in the world. That's a tough question because there's so many things you could buy. I mean, I wish there was things you could buy that would make the world better. But in lieu of that, I'd probably just go buy the biggest bank in the world and liquidate it to hell and then disappear for a while. I don't know. Because I don't have a better answer right now. Avocado Diablo asks, if your life became a wacky adult cartoon where you went on wild adventures with no consequences, what would the first one be? The adventure? It'd be some kind of swinging through vines in a tropical paradise or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or just, or hanging on a beach in Hawaii or some deep sea fishing. That would be cool, where you're catching some giant fish and there's no consequences. So say you catch a swordfish that jumps in and stabs you in the heart. You just have some wacky way to get out of it later because it wouldn't kill you for real. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Y'all asked some tough ones today. Ms. Wildwolf asks, if you had the option to go anywhere in the world with Avocados Diabli, where would it be and why there? With Avocados Diabli, and this is just me speculating. I would guess that Avocas Diabli would actually appreciate like a tour of the Gothic castles and churches or whatever along the Rhine in Germany. So probably like a river cruise, a Viking river cruise, go on a Viking and like 15 days, or maybe a world cruise, but where you go and see all these really cool old things, old buildings, beer places, and monasteries, and all the really cool old shit. AD, would you appreciate that? See, I knew it. That I just had that feeling because I love that kind of shit. I don't know why, and I'm assuming that AD probably does too. So there you go. I'm smarter than I look. Okay, Ms. Wildwolf, how much time do I have? Oh, I gotta hurry. There's a lot of questions left too. I gotta really hurry. Okay, I gotta go through this faster now. Ms. Wildwolf asks if you could help Gunfox create anything, what would it be? Gunfox? Ah, man. I think Gunny and I would create another museum dedicated to an era of war. So like in New Orleans, they have the World War II museum. I think that like a World War I museum, like if we could create a World War I museum akin to the World War II museum in New Orleans, I think that would be a good thing. I think he'd dig that too. Ms. Wildwolf asks, if you were able to be president, what is 3 things you would change and why those 3 things? I probably, oh God, Lord Stone, I'd like to go to a World War III museum. I'd like to stay away from that for now. Okay. If I could be president, 3 things that you would change and why those 3 things. I'm fully on board to find ways to decrease dependency on government. I would be way more extreme as far as what we're cutting out of the government, the federal government doing, and take functions that are not enumerated in the Constitution and make the states do them, and have little, incubator sites in each state, and also just get that's the only thing I'd want to do. So I'm going to leave it at that. Ms. Wild was asked, that's saying good morning to Selected Boy. Sound Noble Nation, best donut you've ever had. Oh, I know, I can show you the best donut I have, thankfully, because of the miracle of the internet. That's wrong. I'm in the wrong profile though. Hang on. Oh, what the hell? It's not even in the account. Where's Big Journey? I can show you the best donut I've ever had because I waited in line for 45 minutes to get it. Here, let me go to here. Well, so when I went to the Minnesota State Fair this year, I'd never even thought, oh no! Oh, it's here somewhere. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Here it is. I stood in line for 45 minutes for a donut.
We waited in line 45 minutes.
And this is it.
For donuts.
So this was the line. It's a little donut shop in the northwest corner of the Minnesota State Fair.
Good? So good. All right.
And you can see the line. There they are, dripping off. They're put them on there.
Rather the grease and the sweet stuff all over it.
When I took that bite, I thought I was in heaven. It was the most amazing donut I had ever had in my entire life. It was still warm, and you say it's not worth waiting that long? I'm telling you right now, if you go to the Minnesota State Fair this year, find that little blue booth, stand in the line. It was worth the 45. I didn't think so either, but we just did it for the hell of it. And I swear to God, it was worth the wait. I was very skeptical, but we just said, what the fuck? All these people are in this line. I'm going to try it. And it was a simple glazed donut, but it was so freaking good. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I'll leave that in the links today. All right. Okay, I'm really out of time now. So let me just get through this. Lightning round. No more long, drawn-out answers. Oh, shoot. I can't find where I was, though. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. Avocados Damme, if you had the chance to be launched from a cannon 20,000 feet into the air, where would you release the parachute and slowly fall into a pool of clarified... and you... Wait a minute. I read that wrong. If you had the chance to be launched from a cannon 20,000 feet into the air, where you would release the parachute and slowly fall into a pool of clarified butter, would you? That sounds like a Diddy party. No, I don't think so. Avocados the Ugliest, if a giant mutant platypus took over the world, do you think they would be benevolent or malevolent rulers? That thing would be slapping you with its bill, killing as many people as could, like we do with ants. I'm not down with a giant mutant platypus taking over the world. Avocados Diablo asks, has there ever been a bill with a greater misnomer than the Affordable Care Act? Oh, so many of them are so bad, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. But the Affordable Care Act is bullshit. Sound Animal Nation, per Mad Magazine, Don Martin and Sergio Aragonés. Is that a question? Oh, which one? Oh, Sergio. I think Sergio was amazing. I think it was funny as hell. They were both good, but Sergio, I loved his stuff. Skella at Midnight asks, what is the first thing you do in the morning? Usually pee. just saying. Oh no, I have to get out of bed first. So, I wait till I'm out of bed. Laura Stanhope asks, if you were trapped in the woods in the winter, what would be the best wild animal to live inside of? If you could kill it, a Kodiak bear, a big ass bear, grizzly bear, something like that. Because it'd be warm. It would be warm for a while, but then that'd even get cold. Selected Boy asks, if you're the owner of a sports franchise, what is it possible to always buy a championship for your team? In theory, you think it would be, but it's hard because the way the sports league draft players, but you could find a way. Avocados Diablo, was warfare better back when people could sit on the sidelines and picnic whilst watching the battle? Well, yeah, because they were, I never understood, like, in the 1700s, like Revolutionary War time, before, like, the Americans kind of got into this kind of more, what do you call that when it's, what the fuck's it called? Guerrilla type warfare? Or warfare where they're not all just standing in a line shooting each other on command. I never understood that, because someone could go have a picnic and watch the battle, because they would all stand in line long lines pointing at each other and taking shots, and then half would go down and half would miss. I never understood that shit. It was safer for the bystanders, I'm sure. Anyway, Lord Stanhope asks, if you were to be devoured by vermin, which vermin would you prefer to be devoured by? I think locust, maybe. I don't know. Are locusts vermin? I don't even know. Avocados Diablo asks, other than Rick D's Disco Duck, what's the worst song of the late 70s? Late 70s? The remake of Putting on the Ritz was the 80s. That was terrible. Worst song of the 70s. I mean, Afternoon Delight. Although that song was both terrible and awesome. You know what I mean? But it was a terrible song, but it was also kind of an awesome song. That might be it. Avocados Diablo, have you ever woke up with an idyllic prairie right out of one of the great pastoral paintings, only to look around and realize you were surrounded by beached whales even though there was no water? No, I don't think I have. Lord Stand-Up asks, why do hogs and heifers insist that healthy food is just too expensive when $100 can still fill a shopping cart with vegetables and fruits? Yeah. I don't know. And he means fat people. Because I mean, I see people with SNAP filled in their carts with bullshit food. I don't know. I think SNAP should be more restricted as what you can buy. It should be only, you can buy canned goods. I don't think you should be able to buy snacks with SNAP. I mean, you're getting food because you need help, not because you need a treat. Oh, but poor people should be able to get a treat too. Yeah, they can get it with their other money. Select Boy asks, what would make a house look tacky? Purple paint. Trust me. Lord Stand-Up asks, should we bring back the concept of honorable and dishonorable poor, victim of circumstance versus victim of self-inflicted wounds? In theory, yes. I mean, we should. And, the concept of shame is gone away too. And I think it needs to come back because people would be more self-sufficient if there was a concept of shame, but some people just have none whatsoever. Avocado Stallion, speaking of Leverage, decent show if you never saw it. If you had a crew of misfits, thieves, and ne'er-do-wells who could pull off any heist, where would you hit first? Any heist? The Louvre? Oh, no, that's been done. Never mind. I don't know. I mean, go big or go home. Fort Knox, one of the Emirates, their stash. There's a whole bunch of places, I guess. Lord Stand-Up asks, if you were being devoured by someone you considered to be vermin, who would you hope it was? Oh, fuck. I have to think about that. Who's I mean, devoured or just figuratively devoured? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to answer that question because I'm married and happily married, and I'm going to stay that way. Midnight asks, Uno Reverse asked me a question, and I'll answer honestly. I wish I had time. I will remind me Monday, and we'll take that question. Avocado Diali, do you think cannibals deep fry human heads and serve them as appetizers? Yeah, probably not. I don't think they deep fry anything. They just go straight to the roasting spit. Lord Stanhope, what would happen if a woman demanded that a man speak to her like his mother, and she's speaking to Edmund Kernfer? I don't know who that is. What would happen? Is that some kind of serial killer dude? Because I don't know. Selected Boy, who's the best TV dad between Philip Banks, Carl Winslow, Bill Cosby, James Evans, and Al Bundy? Best dad or entertaining? Carl Winslow, best dad. Entertaining? Nobody beats Al Bundy. Come on. Al Bundy, by far. Avocado Diablo, speaking of whores, what? Are you looking forward to Ice Shack hooker season? Hell yeah! Oh, wait. No, I'm not. Lord Stanhope, between Margaret Thatcher, Golda Meir, and Indira Gandhi, who would you like most to paint in the nude? Damn it. Probably Margaret Thatcher. I mean, that's the whole thing's whatever. Nas versus old dirty bastard. Nas. Avocado Diablo. Oh, that was the other stand up. I'm late. Avocado Diablo. If you were going to write an unhinged manifesto, what would it be about? It'd be about the time we're living in right now. God damn it. These dumb motherfuckers. Avocado Diablo, as a professional bartender, what is your opinion on anti-disestablishmentarianism in the 21st century? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I forgot what that is. I know there's a definition and I forgot what it is. So I don't know. Avocado Diablo, do you think Sweet Polly Purebred let Underdog do butt stuff as a reward for saving her from Simon Bar Sinister? Wow. Of course you did. Lord Stanhope, if you could buy world peace, which piece of the world would you dispose of first? Not to be racist, but it's not racist of me. I'm black. I can't be racist. Somalia, of course. Avocado Stiabli asks, no, it wouldn't be Somalia. I have friends from Somalia that are nice people, not fucked up Ilhan Omar types. Avocado Stiabli, because they're so happy to be away from Somalia. Do you think I could write of my time in Q&A as therapy, or would the IRS not like that? You might be able to write it off if you donated, but you do donate, so you could, yeah, try and write that off. See if it is. Midnight asks, what is your favorite cartoon? It's the same as my favorite movie of all time, and that would be Disney's Hercules. It's just one movie, and I just love that movie. I just don't know why. I think James Wood was awesome. The whole, all the Greek mythology that they threw in there was cool, and that is my favorite cartoon and my favorite movie all wrapped into one. Nightlife Gaming asks, let's say you do have powers. You enter someone's mind, time travel to the past inside their mind, change one small thing, and then go back to the present in their mind. Would anything change in the physical? Well, if you change one thing, yeah, if you change like their motivation to work out, then yeah, their physical would change too, wouldn't it? I mean, of course it would. Lord Stanhope asks, if you could train monkeys to reenact great battles of history, which era conflict would you choose? Hopefully one with tanks. No. It would be some kind of like Napoleonic wars. That would be really fucking cool. With monkeys? Yeah, monkeys are awesome. So yeah, no. Well, tanks? Well, yeah, I suppose tanks would be cool too. But no, I'm thinking Napoleon. They'd be riding horses and slinging swords and all that shit. That'd be cool. And it's monkeys. That'd be awesome. Because monkeys are awesome. Okay, Lord Stanhope asks, is this all? A close. Nightlife Gaming. World changing. I think I knew what you, did I say the world? Oh, in the world, physical in the world. Oh, I don't know. And finally, the last question on today's Friday Q&A comes from none other than our good friend Avocado Stiabli. I'm not going to read any more questions, even if you write them. Who says, how late are you? No. What does that mean? Was that supposed to be now? You wrote no. How late are you now? I am 6 minutes past when I should have already left. So that's it. Got to go. Thanks everybody. Hope you had fun. I'll drop the links as this is closing up. Thank you so much for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend. I'm going to see my son this weekend. I'm very excited. So that's a good thing. And that's it. Got to go. My name's PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.